Because what I've understood is, like, while studying in IICD, all the design principles are applied everywhere, even in films. I'm aware of that, of how to do that. I know how to understand my audience, and also studying design made me very independent. So when I started making film, it was just like me and my friend, maybe we were doing everything from shooting to scripting to editing. It is now when I have my team. So yes. One such experience. Okay, so I had a very spiritual experience, and I was shooting this film called Tula, which means Shadow Puppetry of Andhra Pradesh. It's a 10-minute film, so I was there for 15 days. And Chidambra uncle, who was the artist, who was telling his father's story, that how people believe that he had a divine power. Because Tolu Bombalata in earlier days, mythology and Ramayana, Mahabharata, like all the epics were performed. And he said, because we, the community, that was a moving community, we used to go to different villages and stay there, perform, and then move on. So in one of the villages, it hadn't rained for, I think, past 3 years or something. And then when his father went to that village, everybody told him that, we know that you have the divine power. So if you can bring in rain through your performance, we'll serve you and take care of you for 3 years. And he was mentioning he went to perform, and then when like after an hour, when the performance of those shadow puppetry were ending, he could see the clouds coming in, the thunderstorm and everything, and the moment they packed up, it started raining. And when I was shooting Tolu Bomalata, I experienced the exact same thing in the exact same movement. So that gave me goosebumps of like listening to him, because I could also feel that divinity in him as an artist and as a performer, and how he was connected to the higher energy. My film called Wheels of Maheswar won the 63rd National Award. And it was about the revival of Maheshwari side, because where we have these weaving practices which are not thriving so much, or almost about to end. Here is one weave which is thriving, doing so well, and where we have more women in this sector. So yeah, that was about the film. There's a lot of pros and cons that I've already spoken about, but because you are your own boss, one, like, you have to be very disciplined, and you have to learn to be very consistent. And because there is, like I mentioned, that there is no financial security when you're freelancing, so you always have to constantly search for projects and keep looking out for it. Even if you are one of those persons who have those like little hesitant, gradually I think you have to leave that. And I think mainly it's just keep yourself motivated. I think that's the toughest part, because you're working all by yourself, you have your team on project basis. But आप जब अकेले काम कर रहे हो, so there are a lot of times where you feel so low and so down, because I don't have team, I don't have people, what do I do? And especially if you are a person like me who's very social and you love to speak to people, I think that's the toughest part, to keep yourself motivated. I think the event was great, and like I said, that it is great to know that we have another design institute who's doing so well, and who's also focusing on actually teaching, to understand mind behind learning. Say that. So I'm so glad to know that you're focusing on that, and then you have students who are doing so well. And I think, to begin with, it's great to have this small community, because you are much more connected to each other when you have that.